Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. So excited for this conversation. First of all, let me invite or welcome my friend Brittany to the conversation. I like to think of these as coffee shop conversations, and Brittany is actually at a coffee shop today in Madison. So we almost were able to get together. But anyways, Brittany, welcome. Before I kick off this conversation and what we're going to do today, just introduce yourself to us. What do you do? Who do you serve? A little bit of fun fact maybe about you.
Ooh, fun facts. Those ones are so hard for me. Hello, I'm Brittany. My name is Brittany Driscoll. I am experimenting with who I serve, but busy females who just are overwhelmed with their life or self-doubt and who want to become deeply motivated and confident so they can feel empowered to take action and live a life to their fullest potential. That's who I serve. My fun fact is, I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh, yeah. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, how would I? I love it. And you know what? I love that you said I'm experimenting. And I just have to say this, every person that I bring on and into this Facebook group, and I think of this Facebook group Becoming Extraordinary as a coffee shop. It's my coffee shop. It's called Becoming Extraordinary. It's for women to hang out and to support and love each other up. And every woman that I bring on to have these conversations with, first of all, I just want to say we're about service. We're about empowerment, of expansion, of talking about things. I'm passionate about this, talking about things that people aren't talking about and bringing the shadows to the light. And so I love it that you're experimenting, but your heart's here. Your heart is in the same place as my heart. So in case no one knows me, hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Geisler Wilson. I am a life and business activation coach, and it is my passion to help you develop personal mastery so that you can win at life, love, and relationships and really bring you to the world. And that's what I'm saying yes to. So fun fact, I was sharing this with Brittany. I'm very natural today because very soon I'm going to go to the sauna and sweat my bleep off. And so it's like, why get ready for going for a live if I'm going to sweat in a minute? So I'm natural today. I'm very natural. So today's conversation, Brittany and I have kind of like have this bond, this friendship that's developed around fear. So her and I started talking about fear about 2 months ago, I'm going to guess. And my journey throughout 2021 has been kind of a journey with fear. Let's say that. I'm actually going to say that, a journey with fear. And so we wanted to come live today with you to talk about not only our journeys, there's a lot of wisdom when we share our stories, but also to give you tips and tricks to overcome that fear. And we have some special invitations to share with you at the end to really up level you and to take life by its horns and to say, hey, fear, I see you, but I'm going to do this anyways and watch me. So, Brittany, first question. Well, before the first question, anything you want to say to that? Because we're already getting excited. I can feel it.
Ditto. Just ditto. Okay. 2021 has been a year of I have no idea what that entails, but let's try it. All the fears.
So I was going to ask you, what was your relationship? What was your dance with fear in 2021?
It was a lot. It was very present, still is very present for me. And I would say the biggest thing about it, though, is it's helping me figure out and decide what is my fullest, highest purpose and potential. And what is it that I want in my life? I'm 29 years old and I feel like I have only so much life left, but even though I know I have so much more. And I currently work as a child life specialist, and I really feel like that is my passion and something I've worked hard for. And yes, it is something I am really passionate about and really love. It's not my fullest purpose. And so trying to figure that out and then taking action to actually fulfilling that is horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. It's uncomfortable. And then something else that we talked about a little bit is I've been battling a lot of projection of fear. Started a new relationship in the last year and a half, and telling my partner that I'm going to go a completely different career path and I'm going to work less and I'm going to do this thing more. Holy smokes, did that only unravel my fear. It unraveled his, and learning how to work through that individually is enough in itself, let alone with a partner. So that's been my relationship with fear, which may sound like a little, but holy smokes, it's a lot.
Yeah. So Oh, I feel that. So my relationship with fear in 2021 was really, again, this similar bubbling of energy of I can't do what
Mhm.
I was doing or kept doing earlier in the year. I was stifled. I was shrunk. I was small. I was silenced. I was everything that I did not want to be in my corporate setting, in my job. And something within me had for a few years, and I had been taking action on it, had just, I wanted to show up and serve and and contribute and make an impact. And that really is helping women love themselves and develop that self-worth and that self-confidence so they can fully express themselves because we have so
Mhm.
many gifts inside of us. And it's to show up and be seen and to be heard. And so I made the decision at the end of, well, it was like March, April, but I had resigned in April and May was going to be the end. So I walked away from a six-figure corporate career to say yes to myself and yes to everything that wanted to come out inside of me and to serve and to contribute.
Mm.
And challenge and fear and projected fear and you can't do this. What the hell are you thinking? You are making a bad decision by choosing yourself.
Mhm.
To what the hell am I doing? To this isn't feeling good. To who do I think I am? To um
Did I make the
yeah,
right choice?
I mean
What
just
am I doing?
how the hell am I doing? Like just fear and fear and fear and it's a dance. It's a dance. And when I say it that way, it's because it's fear. I have no doubt you believe this too. Fear taught me.
Mhm.
It was a gift. It was an
Ah.
opportunity. Yeah, that wasn't some always pleasant.
Yeah, it
Right?
is.
And what fear it helped me get crystal clear on who I am. And it helped me get crystal clear on my why. It helped me choose myself over and over and over and over again every day since, feeling this fear. And it helped me, and I realized this today, it helped me become the version that I want to be.
Mhm.
Running my own business, serving, contributing, generating my income from zero because when we have a corporate job, it's a regular thing that just happens. It just
Mhm.
appears in our bank account and then you get to generate your own income. So anyways, fear was the most beautiful dance and invitation and it felt yucky this year. So just throwing the ball back to you. What do you want to say about now your journey, fear journey on the other side? It's almost the end of December. You've danced this dance with fear.
Think I'm still gonna be dancing it. I don't
You
know if
always
we
are.
ever actually totally overcome it. We just get better at learning how to identifying it and then sitting with it and then overcoming it, which I think is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
It's doing exactly that. I'm folding who I am at my deepest core, what I want at my deepest core, and like all the awesome things that I have to spread around and help people like just take action from a place of faith and courage. And I think that's the biggest thing, being faithful with your fear. Sounds super wacky. But if you're anyone of faith, whether that's Jesus, universe, source, yourself, whatever that may be, as long as you can remain faithful and something better, something bigger than yourself is holding you and is guiding you, you're never going to fail. And that has been my biggest, I think, like success right now is that it is growing me so much closer to my faith and bringing my faith so much more like into my body because that is the only thing that gives me like any type of reassurance.
Yeah, security and stability is
Yeah.
your relationship with your higher power. That's tip number 1, and I agree. I learned that lesson too this year because it faltered. I
Mhm.
have been, in a deep spiritual practice now for, at least 10 years, if not, I really started this journey about 18 years ago. And here I thought, like, I have a good practice. I have a great relationship with the universe. And it was tested. And I'm like, ooh, it's not as strong as I thought. And so I was able to do a lot of beautiful work. And I do sit right now in this beautiful, empowered relationship with the universe. So, like you said, it's faith. And I'm gonna add tip number 2.
Sure.
trust that fear is here to serve you. And I know
Mm,
you're going to offer a twist on this, which I love. But first of all, like fear is here to serve you, meaning we can easily go in the victim consciousness, and we all have been there. There's no shame in that. And the victim is, why is this happening to me? I can't believe this is happening to me. Life is throwing me another curveball. I'm going to continue to play small. And the empowered version of the fear is, oh, fear, I see you. I
mhm.
know you're there, and I'm going to work with you. So
Yeah.
I'd like you to introduce your like little twist on it. And that's that mantra that you shared with me.
Yeah. So there's fear that helps you grow, and there's fear that tells you no.
Yeah.
So there are fears are a way of keeping us safe. Absolutely. And that could be if you're in a dangerous situation, if something maybe isn't the right choice, maybe you don't trust that person, it's uncomfortable. However, there's a fear that helps you grow that is also uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable because you just don't know the destination. It's uncomfortable because of the unknown, and you just want someone to prepare you for that. And sometimes there is someone who can prepare you for that, and sometimes it's yourself, which can make you excited. Okay, so how can I go from, for example, I live in Peoria, my family's in Madison. How can I get there? Okay, I know I can start looking for a job. I know I can start moving back some of my
Mhm.
belongings, and I can start working out my finances. Still freaking scary. Still feeling really like, is this the right choice for me? But it's also moving towards all the things that I'm desiring in my life, which is to be by my family, to build my business, and to be back home. And so that is the fear that's helping me grow. That's the uncomfortableness. Now, if it was something that like it's going to make you go broke, it's the new relationship, sometimes starting new relationships, living together isn't the most healthiest. You're going to be unemployed for like a few months, like that maybe might not be so great. And that is the fear that like scares you, and it's like, no, not yet. And that's
Yeah.
another thing too, not yet. So
Hmm.
fears are there too sometimes to just tell us like, just wait a minute, now's not your time. But again, that fear doesn't go away, so eventually it's going to come back up again to be like, this is your time, now this is your time to grow from that.
Yeah. Yeah. So the no, not yet could be you're heading down this path. You might have to just change course a little, and
Hmm.
then you're on the right path. But I want to highlight for everyone that's listening too. And I love being very descriptive. I agree with you. It's that fear of change, that fear of growth, and it's guiding us, it's helping us to expand. And so I think of it as, well, there's two things. If you are a balloon and you're just stretching it, like you're like stretching it, that stretch is scary and it's visceral and it will make you stop. And that's where we as coaches really help in those initial conversations. So I often think that my coaching doesn't start when you've signed up and we've started the package. The coaching started in the first conversation that we've had, because you will come across fear. And I've
Yep.
talked to my clients too, like when we go into this, like, okay, now that you said yes, be prepared to be, you may experience, I say it very nicely, you
Hmm.
may experience some really deep fears coming up because you're about to change. And that just means you're moving into the unknown. So call me, let me know if that happens. I want to coach you through it. It's a very natural experience. And
Yep.
so if we can tell our mind why this is happening, things can calm down. If you can talk to yourself to say, oh, I'm growing, I'm about to grow, that's what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling this fear. It goes from a level 10 to a level 2, right?
Yep.
And then the other thing, what I also love is someone gave me an example once of the Russian dolls, and I love it. The
Hmm.
doll inside of a doll inside of a doll inside of a doll. And so we don't know what we don't know. So if you're here and you want to grow to here, you don't know what you don't know. You have no idea. So it's the unknown again. And
Hmm.
one of the things, like you said, you can coach it, but it's like, how do you get into the known? How do you start knowing that unfamiliar space? Well, that's one way coaches come in. That's one
Yep.
way having a plan comes in, talking to someone that has had the experience, that has walked, because they're holding that bigger Russian doll for you and they're
Hmm.
paving it and making it an easier transition to expand into that bigger Russian doll. So I love those two analogies. I
Yeah.
just wanted to offer it. I'm going to add tip number 3. So tip number 3 was actually the fear of growth. Is fear helping you grow, or is fear helping you say no? Is fear just saying not right now? The other one I'll say is, I mean, this we've already kind of set up, but I'll call it out. Dude, scared. Like, again, I want this. Like, you want to move to Madison. It's in alignment with your greater goals and perspectives. It's scary. You're going to do it scared anyways, because you know what? that acronym of fear is false evidence appearing real is, again,
Mm,
it's true, is I'm feeling uncomfortable because I don't know where I'm headed. I'm growing into that bigger Russian doll.
yeah,
And that's scary, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. So, because often when we feel the fears and it's intense, it's like, you shouldn't be doing it. It's like, nope, that's not what it's telling me. It's just telling me I'm growing and
yeah,
or I'm moving into the unknown. So I would say
right.
that's 4. What's another tip that you can think of that you can throw out?
Another tip that I can think of, we said some of those, just talking to people, like getting it out there. Don't keep all that stuff in your head. Don't keep all that in your brain, because that is just an opportunity for that fear to even take over even more and more and more. So if you can talk to people, alone time. I love taking walks. I love just being
Mhm.
out in nature. That is the best time that my brain speaks to me, that source speaks to me, honestly. Um, some other tips that I personally have for myself is just like, what are your desires, and assess your goals. If you want something and the fear is holding you back, okay, what are some small, literally super small steps that you can take to get them? And for me, it's my goals. And for me, it's putting in the work and the time towards my coaching. For me, it's building relationships with other people like yourself. Um, and then the last piece would be take action and to just sit. So the other night, I was having a lot of fear, just went to my yoga mat, ebbed and flowed, ebbed and flow. My breath is going in, my breath is going out. You are taking action, you're coming back to your fear. You're just, it's constant like wave. That's how I can think of it. You're just riding that wave.
Yeah, I love it. And one of the things that I do personally too is pause,
Yeah.
stop, and to say, what is this fear? Why? Because our reaction is kind of stronger than what's really going on. So I had an opportunity recently, and actually it was to go back into the corporate setting. Now I wasn't looking for it. They had come out to me. They had made this incredibly sweet deal, and I'm like, this was not on my radar. And I sat with it for like 6 to 8 weeks. And it was actually on my plane ride to Mexico. I was like, I realized like, okay, let's just tune into this. Why am I not clear on a yes or a no? And it was a fear that I didn't even know that I had. But I was finally in a quiet place. I slowed down and I opened up my inner ears and I'm like, why? What? And I found out I was very, very, very scared. I was very scared to go back into a corporate setting where I was going to be asked to shrink again, to silence my voice, and whatever, all those patterns that I had walked away from. Um, my body was still triggered by that. And I was like, oh, I clearly have more work to do. I did not know that, and it was hidden because fears, the deeper meaning of fears can also be hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Well, I have work to do." So I worked on it, and it was beautiful. It was my inner child that was screaming, like, "Don't put me in that situation again." And I listened to her, and I went through this process of listening to her, and it was alchemized and transformed, and it was beautiful. But I did not know that that even existed unless I paused and went deep
Yep.
and found out what was going on.
Yep.
Since then, my answer has been no. Since then, I decided to not take that opportunity. It did not light me up. And in my human design, I'm a manifesting generator.
Yeah.
It was to listen to what lights you up. And it
Mm-hmm.
became clear that it's not going to be what lit me up. And I said no. And, a lot of fear was created from that in my family because how the hell can I be turning that position down? It's like, doesn't light me up. That wasn't in alignment with me. That
Yeah.
was, but the lesson, the invitation that I've danced with was to heal that fear. Who knew?
Yeah.
Like I went through that whole process and the outcome was I healed a fear that I didn't even know I had, but I discovered it because of that process. Long-winded
Exactly.
answer.
No, totally. I can totally relate and empathize with you, because I've been doing some of that same work of just like, where is this coming from? And a lot of it is just like from me, or like from a little version of me who never felt good enough. And
Yeah.
just really loving her and learning how to like pause, sit with her, have a good cry, and then say like, okay, how am I going to face this unknown? Which I love, that you kind of like circled back to, because again, as what I do for work right now, it's really what I help kids do. I just help them, like, they're really scared. It's not a choice, so we got to get there. Like, you got to
Mm.
get there, right? I guess you don't have to. You can choose to, and I'm choosing to get there because I don't want to stay stuck in this little life, and I want to have more. So if you want to have more, you have to take action. Um, but just help yourself like create a plan of care. Like that's what I like to like a coping plan. So like what makes me feel good, what lights me
Yep.
up, what makes me feel safe. Is it someone to talk to? Is it a stress
Mm,
ball? Is it making sure I have enough time in my day to read, or making sure I have enough time in my day to like meditate or do something? Okay, then like what's the next step? We have to still get there. So we still have to keep taking like these small steps. And a lot of those steps though too is working through it. We can't just like acknowledge the fear and then take the
yeah.
step. Like you have to really dive into it, wipe it off, and move to the next one because the next one's going to arise.
So I love it because I help, like what you're illustrating is identifying your needs and meeting your own needs, because that's
Mhm.
self-love versus
Mhm.
self-abandonment, right? Which is we'll often like our just shove our needs aside, especially women, especially busy women with families. I'm speaking from my own experience. Sorry if I'm overgeneralizing, but we're used to putting our own needs to the side. And it's like, no, I'm going to meet my own needs now. And that is self-love. And I'm going to
Yeah.
practice it. So I love how you illustrated it. So you and I both have something exciting to talk about. And so we're on this cusp here of switching from 2022 or 2021 to 2022.
Yeah.
And I've declared 2022 the year of no more bullshit, because truly I processed a lot of fears in 2021, and I am ready to stand up bigger, stronger, brighter, and to say, everyone, this is me. And this is how I'm contributing and being of service. And that is what's driving me. Um, so first, what are you like? Do you have a mantra yet for 2022? Like going into turning into in like this bend into 2022, letting go of 21 and going into 22?
I don't yet. It's something that has been at the forefront of my brain though. So I'm glad you asked that because my word, so I always like to have like a word for the year, and my word for 2021 was possible.
Mm,
Like anything is possible, everything is possible. And I made a mantra around that. And I still am really driving with that, but I think, and I like P words. I don't know what that's about, but I think the next one is like it's either potential or fearless or something because it's just like big. Like
yeah.
I went into this unknown of 2021 and I'm still working through it, but the fact that I'm working through it tells me that like it's about to go off.
Can I just offer something that I'm hearing for you? Take it or
Absolutely,
leave it.
please.
But what was it? Anything is possible. What I'm
Possible.
hearing is I am possible.
I am possible. My mantra was I am perfectly positioned, fully equipped, and totally ready to experience all that God says is possible for me in my life now. Today, I take action from a place of faith and courage. That's my
Love it.
2021.
All
But
right.
I love the I am statements.
I
Those have
am
been big in my
possible.
life recently.
All right. So I'm going to share. Actually, I want you to share first, and then I'm going to share because it
Sure.
piggybacks off of you. But do you want to do a big special invitation to this group?
A big special invitation to this group is yeah, I'm hosting my first ever workshop of my life this Sunday. And it's around just practicing goals because we're still in December, right? So who kind of starts goals in the middle of their month? We do for people who have never done it before so that we can practice it so that when January 2021 comes or 2022 comes, we can charge it. We can feel powerful and we can really step into our new year and our new self and the things that we want to accomplish and just feel good about how you can live into the best version of yourself by feeling balanced. So I know goals can sound really
Mm,
intimidating to people. So another word I like to say is intentions. Just set intentions for yourself to start living a more fuller life. And a more balanced life. So I know a lot of people can say like, well, I don't have time because I'm overwhelmed. Well, you don't have time because you're not prioritizing and setting boundaries for yourself. Once you can set boundaries, you can prioritize, you can do your goals and show up for yourself. So that's really just what I want to teach and empower people to do is to just set simple, healthy intentions or goals that you can practice that are going to help you take those small little steps to overcome all those fears and then to give you whatever it is that you're searching for. For me, something that's really important is I grew up going to this summer camp that has a motto of my own self at my very best all the time. And
mm,
it's balanced in four aspects. And those four aspects really help me live my everyday life. I like to make sure I do something physical, mental, social, and religious, whatever that means to you, spiritual. And so that's how my goals are set up: my health goals, my relationship goals, my spiritual goals, my financial goals, and my fun creative goals, because creativity is a huge part of just who I am as a person in a Pisces and an Aries. And So it's just, I'm going to give you some simple tools to just learn how to balance and feel really empowered to show up for yourself.
So, and I love, and we're going to put the links below. And what I love is that, like, I love that you're saying practice for January. And and I'm sure you agree with that. Like, you don't have to wait till January to set goals. I would
No.
encourage you to practice all the time. Change
Yeah.
your mind. If you don't do it in January, do it in February. And
Yeah.
so, adding on to Brittany's offering, I am launching January 16th because I don't believe it has to be, and there was an auspicious date related to that. But anyway, to activate 2022. And we are going to use advanced manifestation techniques, your human design, in activating and realizing and actualizing your dreams. So, whatever is bubbling inside you. And if you want to say 22 is my year of no more bullshit, I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of silencing my voice. I'm tiring to do things for other people. And I'm choosing me. And I'm going to activate my fullest potentials in 2022. That is what I'm offering, starting launching January 16th. So more to come on that. I'll drop the link below as well. So two really good things. And what I want to say too is I'm not a fan of the word goal either. Kind of makes me sink just a tad. So I
Hmm.
also agree, use the word intention. And I do a lot with manifestation lists, because I know that I live my life in, what do I want to say? Correspondence in relationship with the universe. That is my higher power. And we do things together. And so for me, when I say intention or goal, it's just for me, this is what my experience is telling me, is that it's a very like Kelly driven thing. But when I say manifestation list, that is a Kelly and you thing. We're in partnership. We are doing this together. We're playing in the quantum field, so forth and so forth. I could talk about it. So that is
Yeah.
just my little 2 cents on my naming conventions and why I
Yeah.
do what I do. But
No, I love it.
I love it. And I just want to do a shout out. I have my friend Christina said she's totally on board with the new year of being no more bullshit. So I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
I
it.
love
All right,
that.
Brittany, in closing, anything else you want to add?
In addition to the intention setting, it's also about learning how to practice self compassion, because setting those intentions can be scary sometimes. And so let's learn how to love ourselves through the process and give ourselves some grace. Other than that, keep feeling your fears. If I can do it, you sure as heck can do it. I promise you. And I know like a lot of people probably say that, but I am not someone who likes to feel pain or anything. That is my Enneagram type 7. I want to avoid it at all costs. So the fact that I've been feeling it has been very hard, but very uplifting. I could tell it's helping me identify the things that light me up, my generator self. It's
Yeah,
really good. And I really appreciate your time, Kelly, and having me on here today. This is
you're
my first ever live too, guys. So like just all the first of everything this
I love
upcoming
it.
week. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my closing, just to bounce off of that, you're so welcome. I love this conversation. We'll have more. Fear is here to serve you. It is scary. It is visceral. It is here to serve you. And so when you feel it, just pause and to say, how is this serving me? Could give you a lot of beautiful answers as well. So I'm going to post links to Brittany's Instagram account, her event that's happening this Sunday online at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I'll post my links as well. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Happy
Yay.
Friday.
Happy Friday.